hi Ben, Rahogan from the Boxing Voice. After about the halfway stage, you seemed to be trying to G up the crowd. Did you feel the fight was slipping away from Josh at that point, and that you needed the crowd to maybe sway things or lift him?
No, not at all. I think there was an element of Josh, like I said, Josh putting so much pressure on himself. I think that once he started gaining momentum, I wanted to keep building that momentum. And like I said, going into the fight, I felt like the crowd was actually going to be a disadvantage in the early part of the fight, and I felt like it was going to be an advantage in the second half of the fight, and I think that's what we saw.
Josh, right here.
Hey Josh, with people saying it's a close fight, would you consider a rematch, or do you want to move up?
I'll be moving up. That was my last fight at 140. We said that before this fight. I did make the weight. I made the weight fine. But you could see on the scales just up there that how gaunt I was. But I made the weight good, and that's thanks to John Poppy over there. My nutritionist made it so much easier. The last two weight times I've made the weight has been really easy. But getting the recovery from 140 back to rehydration, back to feeling fully fit again was it's hard. It's hard. Now I'm getting bigger and stronger. And yeah, it was maybe one too many fights at 140. But I made a deal with Jack for me to get the fight for the undisputed title against Ramirez. On the back of it, I'd give Jack his chance at the shot of the belts, and I did that. And fair play to Jack. He turned up and he gave it his best shot, and he was very competitive in the fight, but he never won the fight. He did better than he expected, I think, and but he never won the fight. The right man won the fight, but that'll be my last performance at 140 for sure.
Josh, right there.
Josh, I think the consensus at ringside was that Jack won it by 3, maybe even 4 rounds. There was talk of that it was that wide. Was it the toughest fight of your career?
Definitely not. No, I don't think it was that tough, to be honest. I didn't think it was that tough, to be honest. No, I don't see how he won by 3, maybe 4 rounds. I thought I won the fight.
Right there, one for Josh, one for Ben.
Yeah, just same question for both of you, please. Could you give me a sense of where in the ring you felt it went right and where you felt it went wrong?
Can you take that?
If you want. I thought I won the fight when I was pushing him on the back foot, making him face, putting him on the back and skirting around the edge of the ring, and I was being the boss in there. That's why I thought I won the fight, and hitting him with the better shots, the bigger shots.
Yeah, there was definitely an element of, like I said, there was a lot of pressure. Josh didn't want to make any mistakes. I think he was slightly too hesitant in moments in the first half of the fight. Going in moments that he probably shouldn't have went, and not going in moments that he should have went. Just finding, I think an element of his focus was elsewhere, exterior, as opposed to being focused on actually in the ring. And I think you could see that by Josh keep looking out at the crowd. And we had a discussion in the corner about that, being focused, getting focused and focusing on what's happening in the ring. And when he made that adjustment and started, being more physical and imposing his size, and not picking the right moments and when to go, there was a huge change in the momentum of the fight.
Josh, straight up.
Josh, do you think with everyone talking about perhaps Jack should have won, will that take any shine for you off this achievement, or do you worry?
No, I don't think so. I think Jack deserves all the praise he got because he turned up and he turned well and he did better than everyone expected. So fair play to him. But he never won the fight, and I told him that in the ring straight after the result. I says, well done, you done great, but you never won that fight. So obviously he maybe thinks he disagrees, but I don't know. But I definitely told him straight away there and then, after the decision as well. I says, well done, you done good, you fought well, but you never won the fight. But so I don't really care for what people think. I know I won the fight, and myself and the team know we won the fight. We know it was close. We know it wasn't our best performance, but we know we won the fight.
Josh, down to your left in the green.
George, you talk about moving up. Who would you like? There's obviously some political terms, Crawford.
Yeah, listen, all the big fights, all the marquee fights are at the 147. Even non-title fights at 147 are massive fights. I feel I've earned the right to be in big fights now. The way I've come up in my career, I've took all the risks. Very early on in my career, where other fighters would maybe possibly wait for this fight and that fight, I took all the risks. I've jumped in at the deep end, and it's been sink or swim, and I've learned that I can swim, and I'm definitely one of the best in the sport. Tonight wasn't a great performance, so I know everyone looking at that now, coming up, they're going to go, oh, Josh Taylor, easy fight. you know, Cole had a close fight with Jack Catterall, blah blah blah, you know, and they're going to say, oh, that's an easy fight, but you know, trust me, that was far from my best. And when I move up to 147, I'm going to be a monster at it, and I'm going to be even better than I am now.
Just Tom in the first row.
Josh, obviously all the welterweight title belts are kind of tied up at the minute. Errol Spence and Ugas, there's three of them. Crawford might be a harder fight to make because of litigation, etc. If there was no obvious title path for you, and given the feedback on the decision, do you foresee you possibly fighting Jack Catterall at 147 pounds?
Listen, we'll see what happens. You know, whatever's best for me at the time. But for sure, you know, listen, on my best performance, Jack Catterall gets nowhere near me. That was a 60% performance by me tonight. But I still won the fight. But on my best, you know, he won't beat me. That was Jack Catterall. That was Jack Catterall's peak. That was Jack Catterall's best ever performance he's ever going to produce. You know, so. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, you know, because I've got huge respect for Jack, but I just know I am so much better than what I was tonight, you know. And then at 147, it's a different ballgame for me.
If you watch the fight back and you are more than unhappy than what you are right now, like if you look at it and you're just absolutely stunned with the performance, do you think the fight might be better when you want it back because it's not been clear that you necessarily won given the response to others?
I know in my heart that I won the fight. I know I won that fight, you know, so I'm not really caring what anybody else thinks. I don't really care what anybody else thinks. You know, I know in my heart that I won the fight. The only reason I'm a little annoyed is because I didn't put on a good performance. You know, I put on far too much pressure on myself on the lead up to this fight, with being the homecoming, you know, and not being at home for a long time, and then being undisputed champion, and everyone turning up to see me after 2 years, a miserable 2 years, you know, and I put pressure on myself to perform in front of everyone. I said, I need to win, and it showed in the first half of the fight, but then I started relaxing and I scored the bigger shots, and I was the boss in the fight.
That's an element of experience, and one thing we all forget is that was Josh's 19th fight. It's easy to forget what he achieved. It's easy to forget what Josh achieved in 18 fights. That was his 19th fight. That's all part of experience and dealing with the pressure, and you know, such high expectations of Josh every single time he steps in that ring. That's part of experience.
I'm still quite inexperienced as a pro. Like you said, it's only my 19th fight, so yeah. But no excuses. It was a bad performance for myself. For my personal standards, I know I'm a million times better than that, and I know I'm one of the best fighters on the planet.
For the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.